I am just blown away how fast artificial intelligence entered my life and my workflow. And so I wanted to share some of my thoughts on it. Nothing I share on this video or on the channel, in this video or on the channel, is medical advice. So always do your own research before making any health-related decisions. So this video will be more like on artificial intelligence entering our lives. So I'll share a little bit my experience of how things are evolving and how I see it, because it's like it's great in a way. There's a lot of leverage for somebody like me. I'm a solo entrepreneur, so it's very, that side of things has been great, even though I don't think I'm still not using it at its full capacity. I'm like, my approach is like, use it as you go and as you need it, like not force it, not use AI to use AI, but when you have to tackle like a problem, you have to find a solution, see if AI can help. So that's been kind of my approach. But at the same time, it kind of raises concerns, because when it's all good. It's like, it's replacing some skills, So it's replacing. I can already see like a lot of I'll hire freelancers for different things, and now you don't need. So in a way, it makes your life easier, but philosophically, what's going to happen when everything is going to be replaced, and also what you're building right now, what's its lifespan, and what you are doing right now. So you're orchestrating all that, building something. That too could be, will at one point be replaced. So that's so philosophically, it's kind of like, yeah, it can raise concerns. Excitement and concern. My initial take on it is like, if technology serves like it's built to serve like humans, like it can be great for us. You'll have some robots and artificial intelligence working for you, and you focus on your what's important to you. Your family, your hobbies, traveling, but I have doubts that that's it will be great, like if that's the plan, but I'm not sure about that. That it's motivated by that utopia. But based on my own experience as a solopreneur, I think we have to even use more human intelligence to use artificial intelligence properly. So far, with my work, it's been more of a leverage. But you got to be careful that it's not like that artificial intelligence turns into artificial like dumbness, because sometimes I like to post on X and comment, and sometimes I have the feeling that the discussion is, there's not much discussion, and people are posting, and some of the posts are, it's obvious that it's It's AI. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with using AI when we're using X or any other platform, as long as you take the final decision. If everything is automated, then it's like, then you end up in a situation where bots are talking to each other, and that's, from a human perspective, that's not very interesting. But if you see, for example, like a post on X, and you already have your environment, your project to respond to X. And so in my case, like the artificial intelligence I'm using, it has my book, it has the context, it knows what I'm doing. And so when I see something like a comment that is interesting to me, so what I would usually do is like fit it in and be like, that's my take on it, and how can we respond to that, or write the response myself, and then see what comes, out of the artificial intelligence. So it's like in that way, it's not. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like it just makes you better, but you are still behind. Same thing with my newsletter. So I started this newsletter for Better Monday Fasting, but I've been blogging for years, and now like even though like the artificial intelligence knows what I'm doing. I mean, I could start with artificial intelligence, be like, hey, I want a newsletter on that, but I still keep, the first draft. Like, I like to write it myself. So that's really important to me, and I think I obtain like a better output that way. Like, so I write it myself, fit it in, discuss, and maybe change some orders, like adopt a certain strategy, and then have the final product, and then to promote it on different platforms. Like, that's where the leverage of artificial intelligence it's useful. Like, you can make you the thumbnails, all size for each platform, and maybe from what you've written, have like a little write-up for each platform and all that. Like, so it's really exciting for research, for when you're looking for like a directory of. You want to sell something, or you want to approach some people, so it can do research for you and bring you like a list of leads, like where you can maybe cold email and all that. Like, I mean, this is still like at the level. I mean, it's basically doing what I would do as a human being, but it's like a little leverage, Then you have like the whole agent thing. So far I'm not really, like I'm not, within my business, I'm not like automatizing anything for now. But I see others doing it, and then you have like funny moments where I think like, when you have a business, like every day I'm like receiving many, cold emails from other people who want to sell you something. But then once I ended up in a situation where, I have two brands. So I have Youth Light, which is like a dietary supplement. The other one is Better Monday Fasting. So the email was like the person supposedly had linked the two. It's like, oh yeah, Ali, great work on fasting. You have those two brands, and like really smart to approach it that way and everything. So then it was like, I was like, wow, like the person has done their research. So I responded, and that's when I think I never got a message back or something, but like that's when I realized that it was all like a AI setup. Like the guy or the girl like set up the whole thing, to probably to crawl the web and get the information and draft the email and send it. But I think at one point the chain was broken, or maybe they were getting too many responses. So that's where I think it gets fishy, So you're doing you're automatizing certain things, and then you have a great reach, but then you don't have the human capacity to deal with it, once because I was a lead, but somehow it got lost, because it could be that it was filtered out because they're not interested, so they automatized everything until the end. And once I responded, maybe I didn't made it, to be worth a chat, or their thing was broken and they lost the lead. So that's where it's and once you get that feeling, it feels a little bit like you feel a little bit like you've been duped, and it's not a good feeling. And I think that part of AI, like for businesses, I'm really, it's a turn off for me. So my approach is to keep everything as human as possible. Like this video, I'm not going to edit it. It's like one shot. But then, use AI to make my life of human easier. But I believe that because once I saw, a friend of mine showed me like a model with an avatar, and he's like, oh, I can do this. I can do this. I can do whole course, and it's only my avatar that is talking, and I don't have to shoot the video and all that. And I was watching it, and it really felt like, the fake meats project they have. It really felt like my body. It was like visceral. It wasn't even me judging. Like my body was rejecting it, because it was. It was AI, but still detectable that it's AI. So I didn't want to watch it, so the only situation that might work is like, maybe you're taking a course that you really need, or you really want the information, and it's AI and all that, but it's just, you accept it. But other than that, I have faith that the human side is gonna win, at least for the humans. If there are still humans available around. So that's where because yes, otherwise it's the snake eating itself, situation. That's where it quite doesn't sit for me right at this moment, and I'll probably watch this video in a couple years and laugh, But if I compare to Web 1.0, so that's how I got into a little bit like computers. Before that, I used to have a Commodore 64 to play games and stuff, but in the mid 90s, even later on, like yeah, a little bit past the mid 90s, you know, the whole internet thing started, and I was really excited. I was like one of the first ones to go on the web, like among my friends. I had the girlfriend back then, and his dad was into computers, and he was selling a computer, and I bought it and like put the modem on, and I was really thrilled. Like when that whole web 1.0 started, I really got a kick out of it. You know, I was really excited, and I was seeing it like, man, this is gonna change everything. And I was really hopeful, and it kind of happened that way until I think what killed it for me is the social media and the smartphone. But I think from the late 90s to 2010, I got a good kick out of the whole web thing, the web 2.0 then. But then it became, yeah, like a lot of applications and a lot of like everything video and all that. Like, but the web 1.0, it was like, it was almost silent, you know. It was like reading. So that's what I enjoyed a lot about web 1.0. So yeah, if I have to compare these two major advancements in technology, yeah, I'm a little bit less euphoric with AI. I'm a little bit less naive. You know, I'm like, it's great in a way, but I see the flip side of the coin. Whereas with the when the internet started, I was just like, this is just amazing. I wasn't very critical. I wasn't very critical about it, and I was seeing it as because back then I used to live in Switzerland, and there was Messenger. There was the Yahoo Messenger and Hotmail, MSN. I don't know, and I'll be chatting with people from Illinois, and it was really exciting. You know, like for me, it was like, wow, this is going to bring the whole world together. You know, and it did for a while. Even like Facebook at the beginning, it was like, I mean, my Facebook friends were my real friends. You know, and there was a discussion. There was like, hey, let's meet somewhere, you know. And then it allowed me, I used to live in the US, and it allowed me to reconnect with all my friends that I lost touch with, it, like from Turkey and Switzerland. And so, yeah, at the beginning it was great, but I never saw it as like, it will be a threat for, actually what was supposed to bring us together kind of alienated us, you know. And that's kind of like, you know, now we're, it alienated us, it made us more narcissistic, I think. And yeah, I mean, people are posting their selfies from a restaurant's bathroom, you know, like, and that's where we are at, you know. And that's supposed to be, what is that, you know, like, what are we doing? I mean, I post selfies too, like, I mean, it's not like, but when you analyze it, it's kind of like, you know, the whole loop of you post something and then you get social validation and yeah, all that loop is kind of questionable. And so yeah, now with like AI, it's really, first of all, it goes really fast, you know. It's almost like if you really want to keep up with it, it's almost like that has to be either you need to be unemployed or somehow maybe you digest the advancements and you sell that, you're an AI expert. And then my question is like, do you really need to keep up with everything it can do, Like I said before, my approach is more like, can it help me solve the problem I'm having right now? And then I learn the skills for that right now. Instead of being like, oh, it can do that, so I'm gonna include it no matter what. And even with the automation side of things, I mean, if the task takes you, you're gonna spend 3 minutes a month, I think it's better to do the actual task than automate, work on the automatization for half afternoon, so you can have it's like so that's where that's my little slogan of today, is like, with AI, you as a human, you need to be even more intelligent. You have to put even more human intelligence to use it. Use the artificial intelligence as it should be used. I mean, I don't know even if we can even say something like that. But I just see that there's gonna be problems at one point. If everything is automated, everything is soulless, and you're replacing all the jobs, so we all become entrepreneurs to sell a product, but there's nobody to. So maybe it will be a society of, company. Everybody is a company, and we all sell services to. So it's this like huge ecosystem possible. Leveraged by AI, and maybe that's where everything is going, but it's just that with the model of sell a product or a service to someone, but that someone needs to generate money to buy your product or service. So if you eliminate all the jobs, how that's going to happen? So I think that's a fair question, but maybe we're going towards a different type of society, with like there's this idea of universal revenue. That also sounds really utopic. Hey, do whatever you want, and you don't have to work to survive. Kind of sounds good on paper, but then like, how are you going to guarantee your freedom? What if that entity that is giving you that money, they don't like your opinions and all that, like that's where it becomes and that, on top of that, you have all the if all the money becomes digitalized, then you're basically under control. And again, there will be nothing wrong with it if the instances doing that, they'll do it for. So we as humans, we have a more maybe equalitarian life, and we enjoy more life where survival is not an issue anymore. That will be beautiful, maybe. Not sure about that either, because human nature is it tends to get. Laziness doesn't work well with humans. The results are not. You almost need to be. Yeah, it's like the difference between a solo entrepreneur and an employee. You know, like when you're a solo entrepreneur, like you have to be way more disciplined to. Yeah, for example, like this weekend there was like the Asuncion Coffee Festival. I went last year, and it's usually something that I look forward, you know, all year round. But I didn't go, like, because I have good momentum with work and all that, and I didn't want to break it, and so I have to make a decision, you know. You know, my current momentum was more valuable than, you know, to go to an event like that, because it can be difficult, you know, like speaking of, for example, like lately I've invested in, now I work at a real co-work. You know, in my videos I will always say co-work, but in reality I will go to coffee shops that will offer like they will let me work from there, you know, for long periods of time. But right now I actually rent like a dedicated desk, and it has a cost, you know, but I'm willing to pay that cost because, again, when you're like a solo entrepreneur, like you really, yeah, I mean, there's only you, like, you know, so it's like if you're not disciplined enough, then you'll always end up doing whatever you feel like doing, and that's gonna have disastrous outcomes, you know. And since I've invested in the co-working space, I've already completed 3 weeks, and this is my 4th. It's just great. It's just yeah, the last 3 weeks have been very productive, very yeah, it's really nice to have, you know, you wake up, you shower, you shave, and go to the office, you know. And it's yeah, I do have a desk. I have a nice desk at home. I could work from there. I could go to all those coffee shops and all that. But just to have that, and the co-working is close to the coffee shops I go to. So now it's like I have multiple stations where I can work from, because I have my dedicated desk, but even among the co-working space, there are different like common areas where you can work from, and some of them they're really neat. You know, you're on the 5th floor, you have the view on Asuncion and all that. And then there are the coffee shops. I still get, you know, my coffees from there and stuff, and so it's very made a huge difference. We'll see in the long run how it could just be the honeymoon period, but it's great, and it's open 24/7. That's also a great, like, so I've been going on the weekends sometimes, like to shoot scripted videos and all that. Yeah, like to have that when you're on your own, you got to be more disciplined. And I a little bit forgot how I started that thought. Like it was like related to AI, maybe being more I don't remember where he took off the tangent, but yeah. Anyway, so I'm just like everyone else, kind of, you know, started using AI. It went really fast, because I remember it wasn't like not long time ago. I was still, you know, when my first experience with ChatGPT and all that, it was still you know, it was still like I remember the day I was like testing it, you know, if it was intelligent enough, you know, and it feels like it wasn't long time ago, and now it's like it's like yeah, it's just I mean, at the minimum it's a great coworker, but it's even like it's way more than that. But yeah, I would like yeah, so far I don't have problem with it for what I'm using it for, because I know what I value and I know the lines that like would not cross. And also I believe that there's always a deep wave of, at one point, people, like, it was like, I think after the pandemic, people were listening to more like classical music and long pieces, because with the whole like TikTok culture where your attention is divided. At one point, the human body wants to counterbalance that. So that's also kind of like my approach. So making, long-term, like a long, not long-term, how do you say that? Long format videos, and the short ones too, that are like just spontaneous, they might gain value as if everything becomes like artificial, then, some people might, have the patience again to watch those videos. So that's kind of my bet. I might be right, I might be wrong, but I want to keep it that way. Even though I also started the scripted videos, and that's been fun to have some scripted videos. That way, I can convey the information. I can convey the information, in a more like concise way, and that will that's something. That's one exercise, and then I can like, it helps me with the long format, and also in the scripted videos I have to get better at I guess reading to make it more natural. So the scripted, I need to make it more natural, and maybe the ones that are the videos that are not scripted, learn from that experience to be more efficient with it. So it's a good exercise. And with that too, I get a little bit of help of AI, like to script my videos. So it's kind of interesting. So thank you for watching this video, and I see you in the next one, hopefully. And my outlets are, so I have a book called For a Better Monday. You can either purchase it on Amazon or download a digital copy from our Stand store. And also I have some digital products on fasting. And I sell a dietary supplement called Fasting Electrolytes. So it's electrolytes for fasting. So those are my outlets. So if you want to check them out, I leave the links in the bio of the channel. Thank you for watching.